And you just listen to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. It covers all those aspects affecting the various sections of our people. Beg was the Ijaw country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic genesis was at Government College, Ujeli. And
go gather, destroy their food. With the camp and that other camp, the Songo camp, you don't compensate everybody.
In its key generation sometimes. Today our focus will be on the style of J.P. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his poem Akbo Dancer.
Some lives are meaningful, some are empty. There are lives that are eventful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Long after some of these earthly adventures and no more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary lives.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.
My name is Arnold Terence Weledgi. I'm an audio engineer and ethnic musicologist.
Now, you have an album in the market. What style of music was in this album, or what influenced you? Where did you draw your inspiration from?
My inspiration has always been spiritually oriented. God, morals from our traditions and morals and biblical events but in terms of the message, it's been motivational. But in terms of the musical genre itself, it's Afrobeat. Afrobeat is a hybrid, a mixture of different styles and patterns from traditional African rhythms, from the high life, and the makossa and a lot of the local genres put together is Afrobeats.
So you are also an intrinsic part of the modernity that's plaguing African music, in a way?
Yes, in terms of technical production. But I seek more authentic reproduction of the African genres.
What are the problems you face like an artist?
Problems I face as an artist is finding co-artists or other artists who believe, who have a mindset similar to mine, that can understand that we can use what we have, use our roots, work with our roots, and still yet express ourselves musically and find a world-class audience.
Now, you have a studio. Do you produce many Cameroonians, or are your productions expensive for the average Cameroonian musician?
Well, the studio has never been commercial. It's a project studio. It's, for us, we look at it like a temple, an environment where we can produce good stuff. It's open to any person who is creative and who wants to come and has ideas, musical ideas that we can develop. It's more research or more project oriented. It's not really commercial, because there's artists who can afford, but I just feel called or oriented towards working in a more creative and a more authentic environment. I would work, it's just fulfillment really. But I think it's an open studio just to encourage.
Are you political or apolitical?
I'm apolitical.
Why?
When I look at life, being a Christian and studying the teachings of Christ, whom I think is the only person that has a solution to the problems of mankind, I don't see solutions in politics and solutions in democracies and all these various setups, but I see solutions in people understanding why they're here, understanding essentially the reason why they're here, understanding the call of the human race, understanding the Great Commission, understanding humanity, and understanding responsibilities and things that would enable us to be responsible in our various careers and callings. Politically, I'm apolitical.
So how do you put Christ in the traditional cosmic logic of Africans?
Well, Christ himself is apolitical. I refer to him as a social engineer. And if you study very well his teachings, you'll find out that they're not based on a culture or based on a religion. They're based on his teachings, are based on his motivations, his motives to encourage us to adhere to his vision of a human brotherhood, what we call in Latin fraternus humanus, or pax humanus, or human peace. It's a communal socialistic doctrine that I think in itself has roots in Africa, and it's very, very relative to the African society as it was back then. We were a community, we loved our neighbors like ourselves, we had rules, everything was based on the man next to you. We had morals in Africa. That's the reason why the teachings of Christ have grasped me, because I find a relationship in the essence of his teachings to my own traditional beliefs, because they are very, very non-violent, benevolent, and based on improving communal life.
You come from what part of Cameroon?
From the Western Province.
Can you greet your people in your dialect?
Okay. Zale.
What does that mean?
It means good morning. Or
And
how are you?
what are your last words in people, places, and events? What are you telling the world? How are you encouraging the world to learn from what you are into, and in appreciating African music and its contribution to African well-being?
What I can say is concerning music is people should understand, and musicians, artists should understand, that music is an experience. It was given to us by God to represent, to replicate an experience. Whatever kind of music, whatever music we do, we must relate the truths in us and make sure that this music replicates the experiences. That's what I think music is, a protocol to communicate experience.
Thank you very much for talking to people, places, and events, and to the African Center for Community and Development. And I hope through this media, your voice shall reach out to the millions that are going to be watching you worldwide. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Bye.
And you just listened to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. It covers all those aspects affecting the various sections of our team. Beth was the Ijo country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic genesis was at the government college, Ujeli. And
Go gather, destroy their food. With the camp and that other camp, the Songo camp, you don't compensate everybody.
in its key generation sometimes. Today our focus will be on the style of J.P. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his poem Akbo Dancer.
Some lives are meaningful.
Some are empty.
Other lives that are eventful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Long after some of these earthly adventures and more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary lives.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.